This is Total Drama 2023 Season 2 Summarized Badly, Episode 3, Yippee! We start the episode off with Emma's reaction that Chase is gone, and that was just a lie. We don't get that the entire episode. Weird. What we do get a reaction of is the entire Ratface team to Millie's silly moment of almost killing Damien to avoid sliding herself. And they are pissed, especially Damien.
You, Millie, are a ripper.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
No, she's not. Ripper's a fun character. Meanwhile, MK succeeded in her little side mission to collect that intern outfit from episode 1 and is now going to pose as one. She learns the challenge is about sticky tree sap and manages to snatch a box of spray that will offset its stickiness. The challenge starts and all contestants are turned sticky, as they are told to follow one of two routes across the island to reach the other side. Not like Team Skunkbutt really needed that explanation, most of them already unstick themselves within minutes of the challenge starting. There are a couple of exceptions though. Ripper splits off from his team in the hopes of running into Axel, and Wayne and Raj don't want it because...
cheating is wrong!
Meanwhile on Team Ratface, Millie wants to catch up with Damien to apologize for what she did earlier to him at the slide challenge. At first he doesn't want to hear it, but then Millie still apologizes anyway, and Damien is like, alright, bet, and then they hug it out. And yes, that is exactly as dumb as it sounds, because now Damien and Millie are stuck together for the rest of this episode. Damien must still be thinking about Squid Game after episode 1, because he tries licking the sticky stuff to get rid of it. But whereas that may work with honey cookies, it just ends up with his tongue stuck as well, and now he is unable to speak. Remember this, it will be important. Also, Ripper takes running into Axel a bit too literal, and now him and Axel are stuck butt to butt. Yeah, I know, I won't even bother explaining to you how they ended up in this way or how farts of all things are going to save them from this fate. As a general rule of thumb, just kinda go along with whatever Ripper is doing in these episodes without questioning it, and you'll be fine. Moving from Ripper and Axel's butts to the skunk butts, MK, Julia, and Bowie at first respect Wayne's and Raj's wish to not cheat, but when the hockey bros keep finding ways to get stuck, their team ignores their requests and uses the spray on them anyway. Having tasted cheating, MK and Julia want more. They split up from the group to sabotage Team Ratface by first hitting Z with a raccoon and then Caleb, Priya, and Emma with a log. Caleb's not one to quit easy though, carrying the log with Priya and Emma attached to it. And even as more members get added to his log party like this is some sort of MMORPG, Caleb is still determined to make his team win. Team Cheater have all but Ripper made it, and for the Ratfaces it's just Nichelle, Z, and his raccoon so far. That means that if Caleb wins this, his team takes the victory, and they end up not making it. Oof. Anyway, time to vote. Millie is the obvious vote for this elimination after the last episode, but she tells everyone that her and Damien made up. Damien tries to confirm this, but because of that tongue thing I told you to remember earlier, he is unable to do so. And because his team thinks
That's suspicious.
And because his team thinks it's more plausible Damien was talking about a chicken recipe than about confirming Millie's apology, Millie ends up taking the L. Time for the tier list. Whoosh! Alright, it's recap time. Let's rank some characters. Starting off, Wayne and Raj. Incredibly funny characters as always, and this time they are going in the amazing tier. I really like this setup of them being vastly against the idea of cheating, and that was just icing on the cake. Wayne and Raj are consistently so incredibly funny in this season, and I have to put him in amazing for today's episode. Today was a good episode for a lot of characters, by the way, so expect a lot of amazing and fun tier characters. For example, Emma is going in unremarkable. Oops. Anyway, Emma, one of the few characters that didn't really get to shine this episode. It's sad to see. She doesn't really get to do a whole lot. She feels a little pointless to the story. I hope that she gets to do some more development and that they don't just eliminate her next. That would be sad. Like, I thought that she would be going home this episode because there was so little story for her here, except for her turning into a chicken, which is fine, I guess. Millie, even though I hated Millie throughout episode 2, episode 3 she was kind of fun. Her making up with Damien and Priya is at least fine, and it's a good way to wrap up her story. I don't care that she gets eliminated so soon. It's nice to see her go this early, because it gives more room for other characters to take the spotlight, which is nice because we've already seen Millie take the spotlight last season. Two characters that have been consistently amazing throughout this entire show and continue to be so far are Julia and MK. Boy, do I like the dynamic between these two characters and them embracing their evil sides and almost like kind of flirting with each other on the basis of their evilness is so incredibly funny. I love these two together. It's so good. MK was my least favorite character of last season, but she has such a big glow up with this season. It's incredible. Bowie, pretty unremarkable. Him being torn between Raj and winning and cheating and such was a decently fun storyline, but he was there more so to react to what was happening. And I think they are setting up this storyline for him later, but for now he wasn't the most interesting character of the show. Which is fine, because that means that other characters can take the role. Same with Priya, by the way. She was also there mostly to react to what was happening. And as you can see, a lot of the characters that made it very far into last season are now like at the unremarkable bottom, but that's fine because they've already had their chance at the spotlight, which allows characters like Axel and Ripper to have this very fun dynamic of being stuck together with the butts. I thought that was comical. I thought it was really good having the two of them stuck together for the entirety of the episode, bum to bum, and then just kind of wandering through the woods like that, eventually resulting in Ripper having to let out a good fart to separate them. Yeah. It's romantic. The two of them make a very fun couple. Seeing Ripper in this romantic spot is very cute. Damien, absolute S-tier character this episode as well. I tried to avoid really like... it's hard. But I really like the development that Damien has been getting so far. And in this episode, him being salty constantly and then eventually making up with Millie is a very nice storyline for Damien for this episode. I hope that Damien actually gets to make it quite far. I don't think so. If I'm looking at the story so far, I don't think there's a large story left for Damien to fill, to the point that I wouldn't be surprised if he's a pre-merge boot again. But for now, I really like him. I really like him. Shit, I did it again. Caleb, climbing up from unremarkable to fun. Oh no, I think he wasn't the last time. No new tiers for this time, by the way. We'll save that for episode 4. Yeah, Caleb was really fun. Him getting to carry the entire team literally to victory, but them barely missing out on it, is a very fun way to show this character. And I thought they were going to do this generic evil villain thing, but him getting to take the main role in his team for a change is a really fun way to approach that. Now I can get invested in Caleb. And that's what this reboot does really well in general, because Bowie was also a very gray villain. You'd love to root for Bowie, even though he was the main villain of the show. And I think they're doing a little bit of a same thing with Caleb here. The show also pretty fun this episode. I enjoyed her spending time with Damien. It's a fun combination, the two of them, as well as a combination with her and Z. I don't know, story-wise, Nichelle is not the best character so far. In fact, she's pretty unremarkable. But in this episode, she was fun, and I liked following her throughout this adventure. Which leaves Z, who is still one of the funniest characters on the show, and for this episode, he was amazing as well. Him with the little raccoon. I can't put that lower. That is just fantastic. So yeah, definitely an amazing character for today's episodes. And as you can see, we have not had a lot of missers here. We've had 3 characters that were a little under the radar, which is fine. And then everybody else was fun or amazing. The majority of the characters were amazing in this episode. That's not how statistics work. No, that's also not. A lot of the characters were amazing. There we go. Anyway, that is where I am wrapping up today. If you would like to see more Total Drama content, make sure to check out my channel and subscribe while you're down there searching away for those old videos, because it helps out the channel a lot. And if you really like this episode and want to see more of these highly edited pieces of art, then make sure to join the Silly Billy membership program, where you can join up for like $2 a month, which will get you all the advantages of the Silly Billy tiers, which include things like getting the episode a couple of days earlier, and also getting special reaction emotes and shoutouts. Shoutouts, of course. Shoutouts. Why do I forget shoutouts? Well, let's do some shoutouts. A big shoutout and a tiny little smooch to Nighty, Just Dex, Lily Rose 55, Javi Koopa, Corsa Corpse, Jericho Forest, Zeko Magecko, Media Films, Rift, Creeper XOX, Camille, and Nut for their support on this episode. Thank you so much. And if you would like to become a member yourself, then all you need to do is click the join button down below, and for $2 a month, you get all the advantages just listed. For now though, I thank you for watching. This has been Silly Billy, and remember, cheating is evil. Out,